Namaste everyone, my name is Jiten and today in this video I am going to talk about the meaning and definition of yoga. Most of us will knows about it, however I still thought to put this in a video especially for those who are beginner who wanted to make their career in yoga or having an interest of learning yoga. For them it's helpful to know and start their practice by knowing what exactly is yoga. Okay, so first of all, let me start by clearing this that there is no single definition of yoga which can explain whole thing. Each definition of yoga reveals part of the ocean of knowledge and experience that forms the yogic path. Actually, from the pre-Vedic period to the modern age of yoga, it gets developed a lot, and during these periods various gurus described and given definition in their own way based on their experience and understanding. However, in this video I will try to explain in a brief based on my understanding along with quoting few important definitions which was mentioned in our Vedic scriptures. Now let's start by understanding the meaning of word yoga. So the oldest meaning of yoga can be derived from the Rig Veda and the Atharvaveda, where the word designates a union or connection between various things. Originally the word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit root, one of the traditional Indian language. So the word was yuj. It's a Sanskrit word which means to join or to unite. It also known as to add, merge or combine, and some other extra words which is related to that. So by saying this, like by saying to join, to unite, if I'll put this in an example, so when we add or merge two or more than two things together, so that add, that merge word can be known as yoga. An example, let's say in mathematics, when we do the mathematics and we do like 2 plus 2, 4. So that plus, the sign of plus can be known as yoga. So basically those who are from India and study in this Indian school, specifically in Hindi medium school, they will know very easily this word yoga, because normally in Hindi medium schools we always use this word in maths, like 2 yoga 2 equal to 4, 3 yoga 3 equal to 6. It's like this. Now if we apply this meaning, the unite, the merge, the to join, this meaning on this particular practice, it literally means yukta or united with self. This unity or joining is described in spiritual terms as the union of the individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. The connection between your head, heart and your hand. That is the state of yoga. Now the question comes, how? It's simply done through the practice of asana, pranayama, mudra, bandha, shatkarma and meditation. So there are few practices involved which helps to bring the connection between your individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is one of the key yogic book which describe each aspect of yoga very well. Sage Patanjali in the second sutra describes the purpose of the yoga practice by quoting Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which means yoga is stillness or calming the fluctuation of the mind. It is inhibition or restraint of modification of the mind. As later on many teachers study about Patanjali Yoga Sutra, so different teachers come up with a different understanding about these quotes. Another simple way which I really like, it is yoga is the practice to elimination of the modification of the mind. It is conscious process of gaining mastery over the mind. Further, he mentioned that that controls. It involves two aspects: a power to concentrate on any desire, subject or object, and capacity to remain silent for quite some time. Just a note that in this video, I'm not going to discuss about what are the vrittis, how we're gonna achieve, how we're gonna come over from that. This video is simply to give you a definition of yoga. Now further on this, let's take this as an example. Let's take an example of an ocean, a sea. Now let's take further to this quote. Let's take an example of an ocean, a sea. The surface is not always equal of the sea. It is sometimes very rough, sometimes calm, based on the wind, based on the weather and the situation. It's always different. However, deeper level, it is always calm. Similarly, our body and our mind is always get disturbed or fluctuate based on the external environment, based on the situation. So the practice of yoga help us to not get distracted or disturbed by these external vibes and remain still, remain calm in all situation at all time. That's the purpose, that's the definition of yoga. The second definition I have mentioned here is Samatvam Yog Uchyate. Samatvam is the yoga that Lord Krishna talks about in the Bhagavad Gita. Samatva comes from the Sanskrit word called Sama, which means equal or even. Tva is suffix, which means ness. So basically altogether it is evenness. Swami Sivananda beautifully explained this quote as Samatva is being able to keep the mind steady and balanced in all the conditions of life. It is basically all the ability to remain cheerful in adverse condition, to have courage in meeting danger, loneliness, challenges, positive or negative experience, and to go through the routine of life patiently and joyfully. A person may possess immense wealth, all sorts of comforts and an easygoing life, yet he will have no peace of mind because he has no inner harmony. There is discord in his heart due to greed, selfishness, egoism, lust, pride, fear, hatred, anger, and worry. Where the another person oppositely, not having all the wealth or the comfort life, however, he is satisfied with what he has and can find peace of mind and balance. These are the two different states of mind. So the state of second person can be called as yogic body and mind. Evenness of mind in all situations, that is the state of yoga, simply. So basically, yoga, if I'll say all this in a short note, yoga is the state of being able to maintain one's balance of mind in success and failure, gain and loss, pleasure and pain, and that is the aptitude of a perfect master who remains balanced in all circumstances. Yoga Karmashu Kaushalam. Lord Krishna talks to Arjuna in Mahabharata, the book known as Bhagavad Gita. Yoga Karmashu Kaushalam. Excellence in one's action or skillful action called yoga. Kaushalam signifies doing work with devotion and without attachment. without becoming a workaholic. So to understand this, we can say any work become valuable if carried out with full concentration, dedication and abilities, and also helps us to become valuable to others as well as to society. So by saying this, I'm not saying that you need to do perfect, like the work should be perfect, but it has to be done by best of your ability. You put your 100% on that work. That is the state of yoga, a skillful action. The quote which I have mentioned on this video is given by Swami Sivananda, which personally I like very much. Integration and harmony between thought, word and deed is the state of yoga. Remember that moment when you got some task to do which either you do not want it to do, or due to some other reason you are finding difficulty of doing that task. As a result, what happened? The time of finishing that particular task, it's becoming longer, it feels longer. You feel challenging of finishing that task on time, or you may feeling boring or etc. other things. The simple reason of this is your head, heart and hand is not in line. Head, heart and hand is not in line. Body is there, but heart is not there. Your mind is not there. Something is missing among of these three, and then due to that you are finding challenge. So this state is not called a yogic state, where the practice of yoga helps us to bring balance in our life, bring evenness in all situations, in any given task or work. We able to do any given task properly. We simply start living in the moment of present. The harmony, the integration between head, heart and hand at all the time, that is the state of yoga. So which doesn't mean that you will not get stress or there will be no stress in your life. It's just your body, your mind will be able to deal with that stress, and that particular stress or things will not distract on your work or on that moment or the things you are doing or you are living life. So in this video, I have mentioned very few but powerful definition given by famous gurus. However, there are so many gurus which have given very good definitions time to time, but since I wanted to make this video very short, I have put it only few. As we know that yoga has been defined by many gurus in different scriptures and theses in time to time. Though the definitions differ, maybe you find that definitions by wordings are a bit different, but the goal of the definition, the meaning of the definition is almost same, and it's one. I hope you find this video helpful. Please drop a comment in the comments box section and like and subscribe JitenYogshala. Namaste. Thank you very much.